Black History Month would be pretty meaningless and certainly a lot less inspiring without the long tradition of the church in Black America. Now, millions have grown up listening to church music, especially gospel songs passed on through the generations. But there's a long tradition of music written by Black composers. Our next two guests are part of an event aimed at putting the spotlight on that music.
You also might not know that the newest pipe organ in Brooklyn resides at Janes United Methodist Church in Bed-Stuy. On the 27th, as part of a program called An Afternoon of Music Out of the Black Experience, that Austin pipe organ will be played by none other than Craig Brown, organist and choirmaster for Janes United. Welcome to BK Live, Craig.
Thank you.
The guest conductor in charge next Saturday will be noted musician and teacher Ramon Reeberg. Also joining us in the studio, welcome, Ramon. He's so excited to be here.
Can you tell?
I can tell. Guys, what inspired you to do this concert?
Well, actually, my pastor, he said he wanted to have the Festival of Spirituals at our church. This was a tradition that was actually started by Dr. Solomon Harriet Jr., who played at Mother Amy Zion Church. And Rev said he wanted to have a festival at our church, and it's my job to make it happen. So I contacted the people that I know to make this program fantastic, which Professor Reeberg is one of them. You know, he's well known not only throughout New York City. You know, he taught at LaGuardia High School of Performing Arts for over 25 years. And he was over like all of the vocal majors, and he did the contemporary gospel choir there. And Ramon's event is something that everybody, all the singers and all the musicians used to come to see what Ramon was going to do. And in addition to that, composers would send their music to Ramon because he knew that their works would be performed with a 100-voice choir. So Ramon is the man. He is the man. He's very, very well known. So I engaged Ramon Reeberg. I also engaged Roy Jennings, who used to play at Abyssinian Church. He's a master pianist. So we have all of the best choral works. We have Roy Jennings that's going to play the grand piano that was donated by our pastor, Dr. Simpson, in memory of his father. And you got that big $303,000 pipe organ, which now is valued at over $1 million, which I'll be happy to perform for you. There's something in that program that's for everybody. If you're young, if you like gospel, you're going to hear gospel. If you want to hear spirituals, you're going to hear spirituals. If you like classical, you're going to hear classical. We want to fill our church up. You know, we want to fill our church up so that we can help Rev. Because, you know our church burned down 30 years ago. And we completely rebuilt the church. And as a matter of fact, a year ago, November, we celebrated that we paid off the mortgage on the 4.8.
We've got some great images.
We actually have an image here. Look
the
at
bad old days, if you can imagine.
$4.8 million building.
Wow.
It's hard, but
we paid off that.
We paid it off, but we have like an insurance premium that's like $24,000 that needs to be paid in 4 installments: January, February, March, and April.
So
and I'm tired of seeing Rev struggle to try to pay the bills. And to have one big classic event, and we have a very large church that we can fill up the bottom and the top, and to give Rev the money that he needs so that he can do what he needs to do without having to struggle.
Well, the man, the myth, the legend next to you, Mr. Reeberg, you're going to help. You're going to help pack that church. You're going to have the whole congregation rocking. What are you going to do to break in this Austin pipe organ out there?
Can I tell you one thing about Ramon?
One thing exactly.
He has a God-given ability to think outside of the box, where most musicians would see a piece of music and be happy to do what's there. He's able to see patterns and see things within that music where he can take a piece and that he can work it, but by the time he's finished, the whole audience is giving him a standing ovation, and that's the reason why I engaged him for this concert.
So what's going to be ovation-worthy at this event?
What are we going to hear?
We hired some of the best singers in the city.
That's right.
Let him get you in there. What is going to be ovation-worthy? What are you going to do, sir?
What I think is marvelous about this concert, that it's going to be the spectrum of black church music, of good black church music. And I say that in quotes, good black church music.
So from Dorsey to Kirk Franklin.
As a matter of fact, No Kirk Franklin, but from Dorsey. No, but before Dorsey.
Okay.
I didn't think about doing any Kirk Franklin, but anyway.
Uh-oh.
No, it's too late to change now. All right. We have some contemporary composers. A young man out of Atlanta, Jarrell Gray, wrote a couple of things. We're doing an arrangement of his of Keep Your Lamps Trimmed and Burning. That's a marvelous, marvelous arrangement. It's hard as anything, but it's wonderful. We're doing, there are three major younger black composers who have passed, whose work we're doing. One is Robert Frierson, Glenn Burley, who was the composer of Order My Steps, and of course Moses Hogan. And these are all younger. We're also doing older generations. We're doing, there's going to be some Hall Johnson on the program, some Jester Hairston. Remember Jester Hairston? Yeah. Okay, isn't that great getting up in the morning? I'm trying to think.
So for people who didn't grow up or know gospel music, it's still going to be something great that you can come and just get filled up.
Absolutely.
You don't have to know every word and be able to, but you can clap along.
That's right, but you'll understand the words too.
Yeah.
I have to say that. We're not doing 7-Eleven songs.
Okay.
You know what? 7-Eleven is praise and worship. We're not doing, that's not black church music. That's the contemporary spin on gospel. That's not real stuff, because gospel music is music that touches the soul, it touches the spirit, and it's something, the message is messages that reverberate in your life and in your history. The 7-Eleven songs, that's for the young people, and you know, that's because everything is microwave these days. You want it quick and you want it fast. But real music takes more than that, you know. My big problem with church music these days, and I hate to say this, is that everybody claims they're a musician and nobody can't read.
Music.
Yeah. All right, and it's more than having an ear. It's a gift from God, absolutely. But
when you go to Juilliard and meet someone like you who brings the gift.
You go wherever. You could go to a historically black college.
Okay.
See, let's be real, okay?
Yeah.
But you've got to invest in that gift, not just prostitute it. I shouldn't say it like that, but it is what it is. You have some of these young kids. They want to be musicians. They want fame and fortune. And they can play in 4 keys but can't read 4 notes. And they don't know what a dominant seventh is. And you've got to understand that, because when you have a piece of music, it's more than just playing it. And you have to be able to understand that the voice can do certain kinds of things. And if you really want a piece to sound, maybe that doesn't work in that key. And just because the record's in that key doesn't mean I should do it in that key, because my people can't sing it. And then you have people in schools who say they don't want their children singing gospel music because it's going to ruin the voice. It's not, gospel music is not going to ruin the voice if it's done correctly. But you have to have people who are in charge of the programs to know what they're doing. I'm talking too much.
No, doing fine. The maestro has spoken.
Not. Yes.
So we've got 30 seconds.
Where is it?
Yeah.
When is it?
660 Monroe Street on the corner of Gates Avenue, Malcolm X and Monroe. The tickets are $25. It's very reasonably
Give
priced.
them away.
The date is February 27th,
February
at 4 p.m. at
6:60.
Janes United Methodist Church. There's no way that you're going to hear a program like this
And
for
it's
$25.
one night only.
One night only.
One night only.
All
Be
right.
there or be square.